Good morning and welcome to the AMNA Championship 2025 live stream broadcast from the State Netball Centre here in Parkville. My name is Dan Cook. Alongside me in commentary, Wes Armstrong. Wes, welcome to this morning's match between Victoria Under-23s and Queensland Reserves.
This is going to be an exciting match here, Dan. I'm really excited for this one, and thank you for having me.
No worries. Yeah, lots to play. More for the Queensland team. Equation realistically pretty simple. It's fight for survival for them today in this match. A win required to move into the finals, sitting a few percentage points behind New South Wales, who are to take on ACT today. Would be expecting a win from New South Wales, and they will probably claim fourth, but it's still on the line for Queensland. Both teams sitting on 10 points currently.
Yes, I was doing a bit of that homework and study last night, having a watch of it, going, how are they going to make this work?
Yeah, good start now though for Queensland. I'll take you through the starting lineups. Firstly, for Queensland in goal shooter, it is Zach Dunphy. Goal attack, Darren Gillespie. In wing attack is Zach Hocking. Centre, Zach Howarth. Wing defence, Brian Williamson. Goal defence, Glenn Ormisha. And at goalkeeper, it is Mark Nichols. For the under-23s from Victoria, Carter Morrissey lines up at goal shooter, Will Whiteacre at goal attack, Harrison Lafabua at wing attack, Ryken Brody in at centre, Joel Brown, wing defence, Daniel King at goal defence, and bringing up the back in goalkeeper, Christian Dukas.
Just as you mentioned Ryken Brody's name, he must have heard you and took an intercept in the midcourt.
Great to have impact. Did that in the last game, mentioned someone, and all of a sudden they came out and taken intercept as well. But beautiful ball from Whiteacre to find Morrissey. And a good start here now for the under-23s. We're looking to continue their momentum, yet to drop a game this week. Gillespie now in possession, finds Dunphy. Yeah, lots I think for Christian Dukas to think about against Dunphy and Gillespie. Gillespie, smart player, rolling through the front. Dunphy often on the end. Whiteacre unable to keep possession. Queensland now with possession.
Yeah, there's the commentator's curse. It's a great possession, and Will Whiteacre takes an intercept. Helps Victoria take a 2-1 lead at the start.
And Dunphy finds easy access to the post. That brings it back to 2-2. Lefebvre finds Brody. And beautiful drive to circle edge from the midcourt. Ball now in the hands of Gillespie. Now the drive and delivery over the top to Dunphy. Queensland, an experienced team. Several players formerly a part of their open men's team. Maybe going to find it a little difficult to keep up with the speed of the youngsters from Victoria.
This young 23s team have been impressive to watch all week.
Yeah, I agree. Beautiful. The speed and movement, the way in which they bring the ball through the court. Structurally, I think they look amazing. I think Greg Heinrich's done a great job with this program. And Morrissey able to find goal for Victoria.
Morrissey is one of those players who has had a phenomenal tournament. Having watched him in last year's tournament, was very much a standing still shooter, drop on the dime kind of player. Now he's a mover. He bleeds in and out into that circle, and just his takes have been impressive as well.
Yeah, I have to agree. Watched him at last year's Nationals, and you can see that he's done the work. One, it's also about the positioning and his space, but he goes up for the ball. Unfortunately, not a great take on that one, but I agree. Just movement and strength of the ball when the ball isn't rushed.
Yeah, sorry, that's the commentator's curse.
Touch on the ball, but Queensland able to pull it in. Dukas called for contact.
You've got to have a crack at those ones. I don't think you liked goalkeepers doing them to you back in your day in the circle.
I don't know that I would have taken a jump shot like that.
No, you wouldn't.
Good luck if I ever got that close to the ring.
Range for days.
Hawking looks into the circle as Dan King sweeps the ball out. Howarth with the ball now finds Gillespie. And Gillespie rolls that one over the front. Queensland now out by 2. Great start for the Queensland reserves in this match. Lots for them to fight for. A spot in the playoff tonight, possibly on the line. Morrissey finds the little bit off the post. The crumb. Howarth across to Williamson. Just no one there. And Will Whitaker finds the ball for Victoria. Lefebvre, great drive across the circle, draws the penalty.
He started off strong, Lefebvre. He's drawing that ball, drawing those players out to the opposite side, opening up the middle channel for the other players to come through.
Yeah, I think that the drive and the patterns that he's shown throughout the week, hugely impressive. He's come on along leaps and bounds over the last few years to that maybe a little bit of a growth spurt as well has helped. But yeah, the drive, the movement, the patterns slowly starting to come good for Lefebvre.
This whole 23s team, I think 60% of them started 4 years ago in 17s, and the others have all played. This is at least a second year or third year. They're just building and building every year. Yeah,
difficult now to start cracking into unders team if you haven't had experience in the junior programs in Victoria. Which is great to see the amount of players, that are coming through. It's not just in Victoria, in other states. Junior netball for boys on the rise.
I was on the commentary team for the 20s game just before, and just looking at all the faces across the two courts side by side, kids that we've seen over the last 2-3 years, all just building again, just like Victoria. Yeah, the joy is that you'll get players that have played in these programs making opens teams and then leaving opens teams soon. If you look at the Victorian program, Brodie Roberts, Riley Richardson, all coming up through the juniors programs and really at some stage going to get to the end of their career, pushing late 20s, early 30s. Hopefully not guys. Too soon. Yeah. Hopefully not too soon.
But you look at what this under 23s team can put out. They are a class act themselves.
And there you have it with a beautiful intercept from Christian Dukas.
Yeah, last 5 goals on the board for Victoria from a 2-goal deficit, now up by 3 and in possession. And that ball from Brodie draws the penalty inside the circle. Carter Morrissey now with the shot on goal. Doesn't sink it. Nichols hands the ball, taps it out along the goal line.
It's nice to see what Nichols is doing here. He's not just getting stuck on the body. He's trying some different things to try and combat Carter Morrissey. He's toying with a little bit of a hunt.
Oh, Umisha. Pleading, saying, I didn't touch it. King gets us back underway. Yeah, a little flat from the Victorian team. Someone needs to do some work to punch through the court. Turning that one over. Now,
there's some tired bodies on their court from yesterday's game against New South.
Yeah, it's a big week in this reserves division as well. 11 teams in the competition, so 10 other matches, which is why we see on finals day a final round pool match as well.
It's a grueling tournament.
It is 10 matches across really 6 days, and then the opportunity to play off tonight. So 12 matches. No chance really at a rest for these teams, and unfortunately sometimes it can take its toll because you're always working out as a coach, am I going to play my best team to come up with the win, or do I have to rest some legs? Who do I rest legs against? Do we do it at the start of a match and allow for someone else to get some rhythm and some confidence, or do I have to allow the best team to start? Because it's possible you could drop that one game. We saw on the first day even Victorian reserves draw with Western Australia, and Western Australia haven't gone on to win a lot through the rest of the matches, but have been contesting every game that they've been a part of. So
you can't walk into any game thinking you're going to have a win. You've really got to be switched on and focused. It's been really good watching the coaches. Little turn of phrase I like to use is a lot of them are playing a bit of chess.
Yeah.
Protecting their king as much as they can.
Correct.
Nice and patience there with the Victorian team on the circle edge to find Will Whiteacre at the back space. He's having a great, phenomenal tournament.
And now Victoria up by 4 with ball in hand. Finds Morrissey to take the margin to 5. So after a little bit of a shaky start for Victoria, they're now taking the margin out to 5. I think Greg Heinrich will be happy with the finish of this first quarter so far. Ormisha now with the ball for Queensland.
I just want to see the wing attack for Queensland. Zach Hockey just punch up through that middle a little bit more.
Yeah. I have to agree with you there, as well as and Lefebvre cites Morrissey. That is classy play from the Victorian team. The ability to maintain possession, body strength, side post in the turn whilst on the run. Beautiful ball from Hocking into Dunphy.
And while being, 5.5 days into a competition.
Yeah. Not as fresh as what you would like to be, but that is what our national championships is. Yes. Beautiful work from Team Victoria. Crowd is happy as well.
A little bit of miscommunication at times there with the Queensland defensive lineup. They're doing a bit of a switch without communicating. There we go. Another nice bit of patience with the ball there. Dukas coming out for a bit of a hunt there with a switch with King in the circle, but now they switch back to their players. And a great feed in there by Zach Hocking.
Yeah, Dunphy is a great target for this Queensland team. Around a while in the reserves division. Oh, beautiful ball from Lefebvre to find Morrissey under the post. Nichols out hunting. And Dukas looks for that one, but it leaves Dunphy alone under the post. turnover here from Victoria. Ormisha now with the ball. No easy options at the moment for Queensland. No. Currently looking to work that one, and Hocking sends it in to Dunphy and toes out behind the base. Lefebvre. Easy outlet ball. Frees up for the Victorians, and then Brody into the pocket and sends it up to Carter Morrissey.
Yeah, Harry Lefebvre he's moving very freely at the moment. Just need Brian Williamson just to find him a little bit earlier. Just connect with him, slow him down on that first and second phase drives.
And time called. Queensland with the throw in. No time left, however, in this quarter, and so seeing what the umpire's telling them, if there's anything else, no, that is the end of the first quarter here in the final round match of the men's reserve and under 23 division. We'll go to the break with the Victorian at 23s leading Queensland 17 goals to 12. Welcome back to the 2025 AMNA Championship. It is the men's reserve and under 23 division. Victoria 23s versus Queensland. I am Dan Cook. Joining me in commentary, Wes Armstrong. Wes, take us through what we saw in the first quarter from these two teams.
Both teams very relentless is the key word for the first quarter. Victoria got an early break, sort of 5 minutes in, and just opened up those channels in the middle, and just a little miscommunication as I cursed them again. But it was really good to see Queensland didn't drop their head. They kept pushing. Their conversions from turnovers was high, so getting onto the circle edge and finding their shooters was clear in that second half of the first quarter.
Yeah, this 23s team really has been impressive throughout the championship. No one's really gotten close to them, maybe, except for the Vic reserve team. And I think that's maybe got to do with their ability to cope with physicality. That reserves team from Victoria is a little more physical on the body at both ends of the court. So defenders are needing to block out a different type of player. And the ball moves in a similar pattern. I think that's the team that they'll probably have the most difficulties with so far. The Queensland 23s, though, however, to me yesterday looked hugely impressive and could be another one. And they will play the Vic reserves team tonight for a spot in the final.
Don't forget New South as well. They're very, very physical team.
Correct.
And they did get under the skin of the Victorian boys, 23 boys last night.
And that game, if Queensland don't win this one, will be the other final tonight as well. So
it's an exciting tournament.
it is very.
Every team's got their little elements that everyone's got to combat against. Just having a look down at the Victorian bench there, I noticed their physio or their trainer, John Leckie, very seasoned professional in not just in netball but in sports at elite levels, and has been to a few Olympics. So if anyone can keep a team going and moving and taking all those hits again and again, that is John Leckie. He saved my bacon over the years.
And Rakan Brody gets us back underway with the centre pass, 21-14. The Victorian 23s lead Queensland. Changes for Queensland in this quarter, as we see Sam Carlson take it, throwing that one away. Comes onto the court at wing attack. No changes for Victoria in this quarter yet. Lefebvre sights Morrissey. That jump from Morrissey is one thing that's improved out of sight. Pulling that one in was Carter Morrissey. 22-14 now, Victoria lead. And beautiful work from Gillespie. Smart play. Sights Dunphy after the fake.
Yeah, little fake and feed. Love that from the circle.
Yeah, from the other games that I've seen Queensland play, they're playing a little more open. Usually they're a little bit more short, sharp, work the ball closer, but ball going in a little faster today. No one on the end of that pass from Carlson. Dan King waiting to bring the ball back over from the other court.
One thing I have noted watching the last few games of this Vic 23s is the versatility of their players. So yesterday Joel Brown was mainstay was in the circle defence. Today he's out in wing defence. Dan was in wing defence, now he's in circle defence. It's just chop and change, but they all fill those roles beautifully.
Yeah, have to agree. Lefebvre has played all three of those mid-court roles. Same with Rakan Brody. Seen
Blake Asher who's on the sideline there. Correct. At the moment. He's actually played four positions. Yep. He went into goals last night as well.
Yeah, Whiteacre playing through goal shooter, goal attack and wing attack. Brody McLeish, same for the team who's sitting on the bench at the moment. So a hugely versatile team at the disposal for Greg Heinrich.
Will Greg take the risk and chuck Carter Morrissey into centre?
I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think Carter wants it either.
Would you like a holding centre? I play that well these days.
Nichols, though, takes that one for Queensland. And Mike and Brody with a touch on there. Carlson up high.
Nice and patient, Queensland. Treasuring that ball in hand. Beautiful connection into the shooter.
Yeah, beautiful drive into the pocket. And sent across the sideline in the back space. Brown not able to keep a handle on that ball. And Ormisha, no luck for the Queensland team in bringing that one out of court. Lefebvre now along the sideline side, sends it long. A little far for Carter Morrissey to pull that one in.
Nice little give and go there. Balance. Just pushed him too much onto that sideline there.
And anyone interested in the reserves division knows there'll be a derby between South Australia and Western Australia. It's going on court 2. South Australia at the moment with a lead of 6, 28-22.
Now, if it's anything like the 20s game between South Australia and WA in the last...
A cracker.
Was that a 21-goal turnaround?
Yeah, after the first quarter. South Australia took a 25-10 goal lead over the first place Western Australian team, and Western Australia slowly brought it in throughout the rest of the game. It was a great level of netball to watch, so from both teams. For this one here, 8 goals the margin in favour of the under-23s from Victoria.
Queensland are not dropping their heads though, they keep on working.
Yeah, Howarth sends that one in for Dunphy. And a couple of changes for Victoria now. Kai Varland on at goal shooter and Brodie McLeish on to wing attack. Sturgis has also come on the court for Queensland and gets a touch. Slaps that one out.
Sometimes takes them a moment to reset their play down that front end, Vic, when they bring Kai Varland on. Hasn't got as height as Carter, but they'll fix that up shortly.
Dan King. And contact call on Dunphy. Beautiful way to skip the mess was the Victorian 23s. Whiteacre. Now it is Brodie who gives it into Whiteacre. Now a change. Blake Keisha onto the court at centre.
There was a bit of a cheer up for him yesterday where they were chanting Larky, Larky, Larky.
Tell me more about that one.
I think people were trying to say Balarky and people it got shortened to Larky.
Sure.
He's got a big following coming in to see him this week.
Love how nicknames get progressed. It is Whiteacre doing the work for Victoria, and what a shot that was from distance, confident.
He's an impressive young player, especially coming off the back of that Fast 5 selection last year with the Australian team.
Yeah, Dukas, hands-on ball. Yeah, I have to agree. Victoria, I'm not going to say it, but it has a long line of great goal attacks. Dare I say, either side of me, Dan Ryan, shout out to you, mate, and Brodie Roberts.
I'm showing my age now because I watched back in the day when Dan was playing and yourself.
Yeah.
In around the system just a little bit.
I'm not going to claim to be the number one at all. Happy to get my time in the spotlight, but I love what Brodie Roberts can put out onto court now. And I think Will Whiteacre might be one to take over that in the near future as well.
I totally agree with you on that one. Nice little play from Goofus just to let that dribble in so he can gain a bit extra space and closer to the circle. Closer to the ring, I should say.
Here we go. Queensland now with possession. The margin still at 6. So back to 5. So Victoria not able to put anything on the scoreboard this quarter. It was a 5-goal margin at the first quarter break.
Yeah, it's an arm wrestle.
Yeah, Colafella also entering the court now at goal defence for Victoria. Whiteacre just continuing to work to post. Clever play from the youngster. Howarth now with the ball, gets the ball back and sends it up to Dunphy.
What a take.
Yeah, Dunphy's really caused the defenders some issues with the strength in the circle today. A bigger body than some of the other players, and tall and can jump.
Yeah, when we started the game, I thought, okay, he's going to be just a holding goaler, but he moves, he jumps, he changes things up, so it keeps those defenders on their toes.
Queensland able to cause the turnover.
Very patient through this little box setup, and Brown. Oh, I cursed them again.
Sitting off the front, made it seem like all that space was there. Whitaker not able to hold that one, but confident on the shot.
That looked like the old Dan Cook special.
Yeah, off the sideline there, not clean from Queensland. Colafella to take possession. McLeish out along the side, straight through the middle from Whiteacre, and off in the back.
Great vision there by, I'm going to say Keisha, but Larky, as I was saying before.
Yeah, no, that certainly is not the play I would have been known for. That is the baseline or sideline that I hated to shoot from. And Whiteacre is on fire now. Sweet with the shot.
He likes commentators giving him a bit of attention, so he always tends to hear it. That elevation from Dumpies is just impressive.
So smart on the hold. I think Dukas needs to look at ways to stop that one. Oh, vision, just not the delivery from McLeish. Queensland now in possession. It's been a great quarter from Queensland. Margin.
Never say never attitude.
Yeah. Better play there, though, from the Victorian defence end, sitting off the body and able to confuse the space. Whiteacre looks for McLeish. And a contact call on Nichols. Whiteacre sends that one up and swish. It's pretty to watch.
It's pretty to watch, and I always feel like I'm hearing a mic drop when he does those shots.
Yeah, that hand stays up. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Lovely little positioning there again from Dumfries.
Yeah. He's a great target for this Queensland team. Garland with the spin to base. Yeah, beautiful 12 from Kai Varland.
And Nichols is giving it a really good crack, the Queensland goal defence. He's just slightly a bit short sometimes on getting to that ball. They're just putting it just outside of his reach.
Yeah.
And that time they put it too far out of anyone's reach.
Yeah. Opportunity, I think, for Varland to be on the end of a couple of those passes. Strong, structured, tall. Unfortunately, not able to find space at Whiteacre with the turnover. Here we go. 1-2. Give me the ball back. Doesn't finish that one off, though. Still confident, but it rims out.
And three of that front end from Victoria. So Brady McLeish, Will Whiteacre, Blake Keisha. The three of them played together their first year in 17s in Adelaide. What was that, 4 years ago?
Yeah. And that does bring us to the end of the first half in this game between the Victorian 23s and the Queensland Reserves in the Reserve 23s division. Well, join us after the break. It is currently Victoria leading 34-25. Welcome back, and thank you for joining us over the live stream here at the 2025 AMNA Championships. This is the reserves and under 23s division. We're watching the Victorian under 23s take on Queensland reserve men's. Lots on the line for Queensland. A chance to play finals is there for them, but a win against the undefeated Victorian 23s is needed. McLeish off to a great start. Joining me, Dan Cook in commentary, is Wes Armstrong. Wes, take us through the first half action.
First half was impressive from Victoria, very controlled with the ball when they got it and relentless in defence. But Queensland have not said no, had not dropped their head, have not walked away at all in this game. They are keep pushing and pushing and pushing Victoria. So it's going to be an exciting second half.
Yeah, exciting for us to watch. A couple of changes from both teams to take you through. We've got Brodie McLeish entering the game at goal attack, moving from wing attack, and then Ryken Brodie across into wing attack now, returning to the court as Kai Varlin puts that one through. Also, Dan King across to wing defence, Colafella at goal defence, and Joel Brown goes to keeper for Queensland. Changes for them, Glenn Ormisher onto the court now at goal attack after being at goal defence for the majority of that first half. I think Williamson comes back on at centre. Good start here from Victoria.
Like we mentioned earlier in the game, that versatility from the Victorian team. They wing defence to wing attack to centre to wing attack to goal attack, wing defence to goalkeeper. Yes. There's no one pigeonholed here at all.
Yeah, that constant movement and changes. There, we also see Zach Dawson come onto the court at wing defence for Queensland as the final changes. That one comes through for us up here on the commentary team. Queensland now. Oh, Joel Brown.
Joel Brown.
Saw that one coming, and here we go. Colby Sturgis out as well. Hunting that one. Good work here from Queensland. Ryken Brodie, though, with the ball on the outside, finds Varlin. It is Brodie McLeish now with the shot. Rims out, but Kai Varlin is there to mop that one up. Puts that one on the board for Victoria.
Ryken Brodie with a beautiful little centre pass intercept there.
Dan King now, possession, Keisha. Already good rotation here by Greg Heinrich, getting all players on court. I feel like this team is really fresh. They've played most of the week creating rotations. Really, I don't think anyone's played full games for them throughout the week. So
this tournament is a war of nutrition. So playing a bit of chess throughout the week, rotating them on and off.
Yeah, I think this team has so much depth in it as well that you don't lose too much by bringing the person that's on the bench on. So you can sometimes go, I don't get the start, but I might end up playing 45 minutes of netball as well.
Yeah, not every team has that luxury, or
correct,
that ability, I should say, to do that. So some of them are starting with a starting 7 most games. With this team, it's plays their role and does their job.
Yeah, it does work like that. And umpire says no call here. And Ormisher now in possession finds Dunphy straight over the top there of Riley Colafella.
You mentioned the umpires there, so that's a nice little road in to congratulate the umpires that we've had throughout this tournament. they've been really impressive. And even on this game, we've got former SSN umpire.
Former
Kelpie as
former
well.
teammate of mine.
Yes.
For both South Australia and for Victoria.
Yeah.
Didn't play with him when he went across to New South Wales. Now lives in Queensland.
Yeah, him and his husband are in Queensland.
Yeah.
His husband just retired. He normally umpires in this tournament as well.
Yeah. James, again, someone with a nickname where you don't know where it came from, Bobby Matthews.
But James Bobby Matthews.
Yeah. Got that one early on too. Mine was pretty easy. I got Cookie, maybe Monster. Actually, are we lying? I got Biscotti. So
Biscotti.
Yeah. Thank you. Shout out to Christina Popolo, the old coach, and Eli Harrison. I think taking it there. So obviously we can see how names move on. So it makes sense as to how Larky is slowly the name in which Blake Cajun has now been christened.
Last year, Will Whiteacre was referred to as Mr. President by the crowd because when he did awesome things, he was Will Whiteacre for president.
Sure.
So he's constantly looking for that presidential status.
Yeah. And Kai Varland, beautiful pop, and finishes that one for the Victorian team. Margin is now out to 12.
They're starting to put their foot down a little bit more, Victoria. A couple little errors here and there, but on the whole, quite dominating. Oh, clever play there.
Yeah, Umasha not able to finish it off, but Dunphy pulls it in, unfortunately, out over the goal line. Like it, Brody finds it, not on the circle edge, but still maintains possession. And McLeish confident on the shot, not able to make it drop. As we see a change has also come onto the court for Queensland in at goalkeeper. It is not showing for us yet. Ryan Freestone on the court now.
Do you like the technology when it's working efficiently? Gone are the days where they were running pieces of paper to the commentary box.
Yeah, very hard for them to do here now. We're the furthest away that we could possibly be from the score bench.
We're almost in Geelong, that's how far away we are.
And Hocking comes back to the court now for Sam Carlson as well. Looking to take some drives. Beautiful work from Hocking. Does find Dunphy.
It was a risky ball, but it worked.
McLeish finds Kai Varland on the drive out of the circle. As Lethabua now returns to the court at wing defence. Varland on the end of that one from the Victorians. Great swing ball.
Queensland defensive pressure has dropped slightly. A little bit tired in the legs.
Yeah.
But their attacking play is... Oh, I've just jinxed them. I just did it.
Yeah, as
Sorry, Queensland.
That's all right. Will Whiteacre returns to the court as well now at goal shooter. So Kai Varland taking a seat. Now sitting next to Greg Heinrich for some words of advice. Casual as you like on the take, Lethabua. Riker Brody just straight through the top of the circle and give me the ball.
I'll have that, thank you very much.
Yeah. And whilst Whiteacre is a moving goal attack, realistically at 191 centimetres, a good, what's that, 6'3"?
I only know the old scale. I'm not very good with the new scale. I can't do the conversions in my head.
Pretty sure it's about 6'3".
He's taller than me, that's all I know.
Yeah.
And I'm 6.
You know, hard to manage and maintain Will Whiteacre for Queensland at the moment.
Yep. The moving circle, so he's coming back out of there. punched up through the middle, opened it up.
Yeah.
Wasn't pretty netball, but it worked.
But draws the penalty there with the spin. Freeston called for the armbar, and McLeish sinks that one for Victoria. Margin is now out to 14. It is 45 to 31. Just 5 minutes left in this third quarter. Not sure Queensland will have what it takes to bring that one back in, as Hocking unable to put that one into the circle for Dunphy.
There's the GOAT in Joel Brown.
1 acre on the end of that one. That's pretty netball. The movement through the court from this under-23s team is spectacular this afternoon.
Still liking the work rate of Nichols for Queensland. He's not stopping. He just keeps working, and he's got his eyes up, and he's been getting some hands to ball, which has been great.
McLeish chases it up. Well, that looked flat, not a pretty shot. Queensland now with the throw-in.
And we're setting up a little bit of a centre court press, but aborted very quickly.
Yes. Dunphy out of the circle, not where we've seen him for most of the match. Glenn Ormisher called for the contact, mostly playing majority of his netball in wing defence and goal defence. However, playing now in the reserves division, spending some time at goal attack for this Queensland team.
Looks like there's a change going to happen for Queensland.
Yeah, Jason Cole's now lining up in the box at goal shooter. Reach from Colafella, not enough to put Ormisher off. Now, Victorian centre, 47 to 32. McLeish just lets that one go into the pocket for Ryken Brody, who finds goal line drive. Will Whitaker, pretty, and Jason Cole's now onto the court for Zach Dunphy. Lefebvre called for use of the knee. Coles draws the penalty. Smart netball there. And Ormisher not able to keep handle on the ball. Poor delivery from Colafella.
There was Nichols cleaning that one back up.
Nowhere to go. Coles just drops it at Howe's feet. And the held ball, great work defensively from the Victorian collection.
I'd like to see Hocking on those ones. He just got caught on the opposite side on that circle edge, just to pop out, re-offer, open up in the middle.
Yeah. McLeish sends it long, a touch from Freeston, but it still finds Whiteacre in the back. Margin now out to 17 for the under-23s team from Victoria. Slowly putting the margin out further and further as this game goes. McLeish to post. Oh, can't put it in. Whiteacre. So smart just to put that one back to Brody McLeish. Court awareness, player awareness is fantastic from Will Whiteacre.
No, he doesn't want to chalk up all the goals on the on the stats.
Yeah, and Cole's not able to maintain possession on that one. So Victoria look to send it down the court once again. Lefebvre finds McLeish. McLeish not able to handle it, and a replay ball called by James Matthews.
Correction, repossession. Is that hand signal now? It got split last year into 2 different hand signals now. Just to keep us all on our toes.
Yeah, just a beautiful shot from Ormisha. As that brings us to the end of this third quarter in the reserves and under 23s division. It is the Victorian 23s leading the Queensland reserves 50-33. And welcome back to the 2025 AMNA Championship from Parkville. This is the last quarter of the men's reserve and under 23s division match between the Victorian under 23s and Queensland. Nichols up on that one. Joining me in commentary is Wes Armstrong. Wes, impressive from Victoria. What do we see in the last quarter?
They're just not going to stop. They just got a work rate that's just unstoppable. It's really, really impressive. Gives me a little bit of goosebumps. They back each other and they are around each other constantly.
Yeah.
It's the open men's of the future, I think.
Yeah, agreed. Lots to look forward to. The problem for them is that not everyone gets to move through in that pathway. Boys before you, boys to come. You've always got to be on the lookout for that next person. What's impressive for me is the ability for them to be steady and pile on the goals. 17 goals, 17 goals, 16 goals in their quarters respectively so far. Consistent but steady from them, but stopping and getting better at stopping the ball from Queensland. Just 12, 13, but just 8 goals in that third term for Queensland.
Yeah, Victoria's very steady with ball in hand. And when they don't have it on hand, I'm going to say the word again, relentless in defence.
Yeah. Queensland, this match was important for them. There is a fight for that final spot in the finals series starting tonight. Victorian 23s already through in first place. The Queensland 23s and Victoria sitting in second and third and will play each other. But Queensland reliant on the result from the game between New South Wales and ACT. New South Wales currently leading by 6 at three-quarter time. But if they do win that and Queensland do lose, we will see Queensland fall out of the top 4. And Dunphy returns to the court for Queensland. Queensland, I think, will be looking to continue to keep the score rate that happened for them whilst he was on court.
Now, Dan, for those who are looking at the ladder, you can see that Fiji's in there.
Yes.
Do you want to explain how that works?
Yeah, so Fiji not eligible for finals here at the championship for the national title.
Yes.
So allowing for the top 4 teams to take out the men's reserve division, and Fiji not an invited group, not a part of our AMNA crew, so able and eligible to play for points during the week.
But it's been great that they've been here to continue their development as a team.
Completely fantastic for them. It opens up a multitude of avenues, improves their quality of netball that they get to play, and who doesn't want to go away and play 6 days worth of fantastic netball? Fiji getting 10 games whilst they're here. So yeah, Fiji, done a great job. I think
it's been great to see men's netball develop not just here in Australia, but abroad as well.
Correct.
The momentum of men's netball is just growing year in, year out. More juniors playing every year, more players in the M League here in Victoria and in the other states, and now seeing Fiji developing more as well.
Yeah,
New Zealand over the ditch have got a great program as well.
Yeah, fantastic. The growth of men's netball. Fiji getting up over Queensland last night, which really hurt Queensland's chances, I think, of making the final 4, still having to play for points.
Hold time there with a ball from the other court.
Yeah, interesting we speak about it. Queensland currently also Fiji leading the Victorian reserves team by 12 as well.
I watched the Victorian 23s play against Fiji yesterday, and that was a topsy-turvy game. So Victoria blew it out a little bit, but then it narrowed down. Like, it was an 8-goal lead, then it came down to a goal in it. So it just chopped and changed, and Fiji, their athleticism on the court was impressive.
Yeah.
As Dunphy just gets contact call drawn against him and pops it in to finish that conversion there for Queensland.
Yeah, so the results against Fiji can be important for the teams. Fiji are picking up some great wins. Probably going to jump up the ladder. If they continue this win, will jump up in front of the Victorian reserves team as well. So well done to the Fiji team on their week. They'll most likely finish in third. Beautiful ball from Lefebvre to find Kai Varland. So Varland returns now to the court at goal attack, with Whiteacre staying in at shooter. Keisha in at wing attack as well. In the back for Victoria in this quarter, Dukas, King and Colafella. Freestone mops up the loose ball. Queensland.
Nichols always there as an option for Queensland.
Yeah.
I've been quite impressed with his play in this game.
Yeah, look, and Martin Nichols has played open men's for Queensland, so experienced. Had watched him kind of rise up through the ranks. I think played mixed reserves for them. You could see the talent that he had early when coming into the Queensland program, and it wasn't long before went on. I do, from memory, won the Opens Championship with their Queensland Open team back in, the last time I was in Victoria, so 2022, I think it was.
Yes,
22?
I think you're right.
2022.
I think it's 22. It wasn't 21. So we still had the COVID issues in Victoria, so it wasn't then.
So, might have been before 2020. It was before COVID. Yep.
Before COVID, out in...
Or 2019.
2019 in...
Jeez, it's a long time ago.
Was it Knox or...
Yeah, it was. 2019.
No, it was 2018. No, that was Cranbourne. It was Cranbourne. Was it Cranbourne in 2019? Anyway,
it's a little while ago.
We've been in Victoria a few times over the last 10, 15 years, and we watch as much netball as you and I have over the years. It blurs into one a little bit.
Yeah, I sat on the commentary team in that final as well. And Barlin now in possession, not able to find Lefebvre.
Nice and patience here from Queensland. Please don't jinx it, Wes. Nice and patience. Onto the circle edge. Finds Dumfries and finishes.
Yeah, Dumphy in the back. We see Colby Sturgis now returning the court for Freestone. So a few rotations now from Queensland, who will wrap up their tournament now after the match this morning. Dan King, great reach to keep that one in. Dukas coming down, delivers to Morrissey, who's come back to the court. Joel Brown now back on it, goal defence for Victoria.
There's a lot of people listening to our commentary and watching the game from home. So I've just been informed that it was 2019 at Casey Stadium.
Thank you. That's the one.
Thank you to the Victorian parent, Yvette Lovell, for sending that information through.
McLeish keeps possession, sends it into Morrissey. Beautiful ball on the double team. And now Queensland looking to finish out. This is the last 6.5 minutes of their championship for the week.
They're not giving up. Not giving up at all. They just keep working.
Brody just takes Howarth out.
Well, he was a football player originally, and filled in for his sister's netball team as a youngster, and
fell in love.
He's worn the green and gold in the junior Australia programs. So we have a clean up on aisle one.
It's a contest from each of the states to get a spot in those junior teams hotting up across this week as well. So much talent in each of the states. The joy now having boys from not just really the eastern states, or maybe WA and SA starting to filter in, ACT, Tasmania also having talent and making teams, which is great to see for the future of the game. Oh, Morrissey.
And it's also, a lot of people, they might watch the 20s and think that's the pool of players.
Correct.
Where sometimes there's under-17s boys playing in the under-20s section, or there's under-20s representatives in the under-23s, where some of these Victorian boys are eligible for the 20s
Will Larnack are still eligible. I think this is the first year's not eligible for the 17s. From memory, still extremely young. First year into 20s.
Oh, I think he still might
be 17s. Yeah. Brody McLeish still eligible for 20s as well.
Blake Keisha, Ryken Brody still eligible for 20s.
So great to see. Oh, Mark Nichols saw that one. Ball swing across from Victoria. Beautiful pick off from the Queensland goal defence. And that ball is into Dunphy.
sitting home alone, ready to go.
Whiteacre on at wing attack. Now, Keisha, nice quick play with Brodie McLeish. Grabs that one out of the air.
That was a pass, I'm going to say, off the circle edge to Morrissey.
Certainly wasn't. Brodie, I will not let you get away with that claimed pass. Gillespie now back onto the court as well. Carlson looking for Dunphy, but Joel Brown, all arms, all in the way.
He's an impressive one to watch, Joel Brown.
Yeah, Sturgis saw it just a little late on McLeish. And McLeish not able to find Carter Morrissey and Colby Sturgis.
I think Colby Sturgis said, I'll show you, Dan.
I can get the ball first. And lucky, I think, for Victoria, Morrissey with a bit of a push.
Yes, from our angle, it did look like that.
Call against Dukas. And sent in by Howarth to Dunphy.
I'm always impressed when goalers can do that jump.
The jump shot?
Yeah. I don't have the coordination to do that. I go up and I'm going to get dizzy.
Yeah, Morrissey just fighting for front space on Sturgis. And puts that one through. Important for Victoria to run this one out moving into tonight's game. They will face New South Wales tonight for a spot in the final. Like you spoke about, struggled a little with the physicality that New South Wales brought to them.
Yeah, it wasn't until the fourth quarter last night where they broke away. They had to really, really dig deep. Coming off the back of their Fiji game.
Yeah. Morrissey misses it under the post. Does pull it back in now. 18 goals the margin. Better final quarter from Queensland so far. Just one down. Whiteacre with the touch.
It's good to see the crowds are building today, being the Good Friday public holiday. More and more people are coming in.
Come down to the State Netball Centre if you are in Victoria. Don't watch it on the live stream. Get down here for some classy netball. Next up is the Open Men's semi-final as well. We've got two semi-finals. Get yourself down here. You've got 40 minutes.
Then you don't have to hear my rubbish special comments. You get to really enjoy the atmosphere more instead.
Yeah. Cracker games on next. New South Wales and Victoria in the first semi. It is Western Australia playing South Australia in the second for the knockout. That was a great game earlier in the week as well. I will also be joining you for the New South Wales Victoria game on here next. But Dunphy finds space. Joel Brown out. Puts that one in good final term for Queensland. It's currently even for them. McLeish swings it across to Keisha. And that ball from Whiteacre finds Morrissey beautifully.
Beautifully weighted ball.
Yeah, beautiful triangle between the two mid-quarters.
Yeah, I'm going to be moving over to Court 8 and watching and commentating on the mixed open semi-final between SA and New South Wales.
How fun. That ball now sent in. No. Not able to be put through for Gillespie, and that does wrap up this final round match in the reserves 23s division. Victoria 23s taking it 65-47. Wes, great game from the Victorian 23s. They're classy.
They are very classy. They're classy. They're not smart, Alex, on the court as well with the ball.
Yeah.
Like they just head down, bum up, do the work, and keep working and working and working.
Have to agree. Their basics are done extremely well. They're drilled in. They make less errors that I've seen out of everyone else.
Yeah.
Then they still have a little bit of flair, which is good to see. They haven't really stripped all of the flair out, but it comes out in the way in which they do basics sometimes as well. And I don't feel like you have to change the way in which you play.
And I really like what Greg has done with the team. Every time there's those little errors that I've seen happen a couple of times in one game, I don't see them in the next.
Yeah.
He's very switched on and just very experienced coach, but you just see those little changes the next game. They build and build and build.
Yep. Great person to have in the Victorian programs is Greg Heinrich. Well, that brings us to the end of our coverage. We hope you're willing to, if you are at home, stick around throughout the rest of the day. Some fantastic matches. Next up on Court 1, which is where we are now in the Open Men's, it is New South Wales versus Victoria. On behalf of Wes and myself, Dan Cook, please stick around and we'll see what else is to come throughout the rest of this AMNA Championship.